Looking for a way to get healthy? The Chef You and I program has the answer. Kathryn Raaker and chefs from around the nation will teach even the most inexperienced how to cook. Come into their kitchen and watch them take ordinary foods with loads of calories and fat and turn those foods into healthier dishes. You will be the first to get tips and ideas on foods that are easy to prepare. Now let's join Kathryn and today's chef and learn how to make today's recipes.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of The Chef You and I, and guess what? Today we are doing a Valentine special from Southwest Texas or Texas itself, and we have a wonderful product sponsors that have given us product to use in our show, and that's JD's Chili Parlor and all of their enchilada, chili fixins, and their new product, which is this right here, and that is Chili Mary, and two different types of Chili Marys, and we're going to make a beautiful drink with tequila, and I'm very excited about that. The first thing that we're going to do actually today is we're going to make the chicken tortilla soup with, of course, JD's Chili Parlor enchilada sauce. We're going to make JD's chicken enchiladas. We're going to be making JD's basmati hatch corn rice, which is a Mexican rice. We're going to make as an appetizer today the JD's Frito Big Bites, and we're going to be making JD's chili. And then we're also, like I said, we're making JD's Texas Red Shooters. And then we're going to have, at the very end, we're going to have famous chocolates from Brooklyn. And we also want to, we have a new group that has just sent us the duck fat cooking spray, which I want to go get and show you. This is by Cornhusker, and it's gourmet duck fat cooking oil spray. And we are going to be using that today on our enchiladas and everything that we're doing. And it's actually the best that you could ever get and try. Even if you want to make grilled cheese sandwiches, instead of putting butter on it, which is a lot less, you put duck fat oil on it, you put that on your bread, put it in the frying pan, and put your cheese on, and you've got grilled cheese sandwiches. So we want to thank those wonderful people for doing that. So this is very different. We've never done a Valentine's Day from Texas, but we're going to do it now. So the first thing we're making actually is our tortilla soup. And the first thing that we want to do is because we want to have the chips that you use on top of the tortilla soup. So we have taken corn tortillas, right? And if you buy them at the store, you still need to put them in a 200-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 10 minutes until they get kind of dry. That's what you want, because we're going to fry these. And guess what? I found something a lot easier than trying to use a knife with them. I'm using a scissors. So I have a really nice scissors, Fisker scissors. So I'm making these uniform strips that'll go on top of the soup. So we made it really simple for you. So that's just one tortilla, right? And then here's the next one. And these are going to look so wonderful on your actual soup. So you take them and cut them in half, and then you make these strips. And you can use a knife, but the problem is when they're dry, it's tough to cut them. So I said, why not use this? My wonderful husband producer said, why not use, a scissors? The wonderful thing about this recipe is that, like I said, you take and you bake the tortillas at 200 degrees, and then for about 10 minutes, take them out, they cool off, and then what you're going to do is you cut them, and then I'm using my lovely Fisker scissors, and I'm cutting them into strips, and we're going to fry them. That's the base of the tortilla soup, is the oil that we put in it after we do this, and then what we're going to do is we're actually going to make we're going to saute all of our vegetables and then what we're doing is we're adding all the other ingredients to it, and we're making the soup. And the soup only takes about a half an hour, so it's really simple. It's the first time I've made tortilla soup, so I hope everybody likes it. I think it'll taste delicious, and I think this is a lot of fun. We are not using garlic in anything that we're doing today. As you know, I'm allergic to garlic, and I want to be able to try this. So we're going to do one more. I think this is going to be plenty. And once we're done with that, I'm going to heat the oil up in our 360 pans, and which we use only 360 pans, which I love. And you can get a discount on my pans up on my website. So here we go. So I really think one more, that should be totally enough. So if you had more guests, if you had 4 people, then, I'd actually add more. So we'll fry these up. And they're kind of like when you go to the Chinese restaurant and you get those lovely things that they make. It's similar to that, actually. So here we go. We'll fry these up, and then we'll be ready to go. If you want to do more, I'll cut them all up, and then that way you'll have more. So we'll fry those, and those go on top of the soup in the end as a garnish. So really simple today. And I can't wait to make the chicken enchiladas. And I did them the other night. Actually, I made chicken enchiladas, and I made shrimp enchiladas with the JD enchilada sauce. It was actually excellent. And these recipes all have been provided by our wonderful gal, Diana Anderson, and her husband, John, and with JD's Chili Parlor. So here we go. Now, I think that's enough. So what we're going to do is now we're going to heat up the oil over here on the stove, and we're going to fry, actually, we're going to fry our strips. And you do them about 2 minutes because you don't want them to be black. You want them just to, turn brown. That's it. So let's do that first. So we'll let that heat up for a minute, and then we'll bring the camera over and show you exactly how easy this is to do. I think I'm going to actually cut this other one up just so we have enough, okay? We'll do that while that's heating up. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we're done. Oh, that didn't do very well. See, when they get real dry, you have to be careful. Okay, I think that's enough. We're going to do this. We're going to take them over here, on here, and we will take them over here, and it's getting hot now. And I'll try one and see what happens. Not ready yet. He has to get to a point where, and I don't want to put any water. Now it's good. So we want to get that camera in there so he can see how we're doing this. And so you can see the bubbles on it. You can hear it. Okay, we'll let that go for a minute. So you want to do so many bunches at one time. You don't want to do all of them at one time. Okay. And so they'll get kind of a golden brown. And these are the yellow corn. These are the yellow corn ones. And, oh, they look good. Wow. They look real good. Okay, so now you can see that they're ready to come out. I'm going to turn this down for a minute and take these out and put them onto a paper towel so you can see how they look. Really cool. This is my first attempt at this. This looks pretty darn good. So, anyhow, and then we'll put in the next group so that you have enough for everyone. So when you serve the soup, everybody gets this, okay? So let's do this, right? And this is going to be a lot of fun. I love Mexican food, especially without garlic, as you know. So, and I've never had enchilada sauce like JD's. It's absolutely delicious. You buy it in the store or you order it online, right? And here's the cool part about it. Everything's done for you. All you have to do is add the meat or whatever. You don't have to make the enchilada sauce stand over a hot stove because she's taken all the work out of it. So we're going to finish these up and maybe not get them as brown as I did here, but that's fine. They got to look like they're done, right? I'll take these out a little sooner. That looks good. Glad I made enough to do that. So you're just crisping them up. That's all you're doing. And those look like they're done actually. So we'll take those out. So we have some that are really done, and then we have some that just look really sweet. Okay. So now what we want to do is take a little break in a minute, and we're going to start our soup in the oil. So we'll be right back in just a moment. I'll take the rest of these out. We'll start making the soup. We'll be right back. We're back on the Chef You and I, and the next thing we're going to do is put the rest of the ingredients that we have to saute. And so one of the things that we're doing is we're cutting up an onion, actually, but we are using it in my chopper here. And we need a half a cup of chopped onion. So we'll see how much it takes here. We'll put this up out here, and we'll chop it up. Okay, so that should be enough, right? So we need a half a cup. So we'll see how much that is, right? I'm guessing right now, but I think that looks like a half a cup to me. So there we go. That is a half a cup. So we'll put that aside, right? And then we also need, we're not doing garlic because you know I'm allergic to garlic. So we're not doing that. So we're going to saute the onion, the chili. We're doing a poblano chili. We are actually cutting up we did the onions first, and now we're going to do the poblano pepper. But you need to cut it up, right? And take all the seeds out, right? And make sure you get all this part of it off. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to cut this off. This part, the vein, off. And then I am going to actually put it in the chopper, right? After I do that. And I like poblano really a lot. And I'm using gloves, as you can see, which is important. And so this would be, after I cut everything off of it, about a medium-sized poblano pepper. Okay, but you can use a jalapeno, which a lot of people would do. But they just happen to have poblano peppers, and I love them. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to chop that up, and that's our second thing that we have to chop up. It's the other one. Okay. That looks good. Okay, that's good. That's chopped nicely. Okay, so we have that. So we're heating up our oil because we're going to saute our onions first for about a minute till they get a little bit very soft, okay? And then I'm going to add my chilies to it and do that for about maybe a minute and a half, right? So let's do that first. That's the first thing that we're going to do. We're going to add our chopped onions to our pan. We're going to saute them in the pan. And the camera guy can come over here for a minute and see what we're doing here. And then we will bring in the chilies next. So you want to saute those just for a few minutes, right? Until they get, you can see them. And that's the oil. You're using the same oil that you did the actual tortilla in. And that looks good. So this soup is all made in one pan. So now we're going to add our chilies, a poblano chili, and add that to it, right? And Gonna get that to a point. All right, that looks beautiful. And just leave that on there for a minute. Turn it down a little bit, right? And when that's sauteed, then we're gonna add our different ingredients to the soup, and it's gonna be wonderful. I think we're about there. Okay. And if you want to use a milder chili, you could do that, because there's a lot of people that don't like hot chilies, right? But remember, this is from Texas. So we're going to turn this down, totally down right there. And then what we're doing is we're going to add some of our other ingredients to it. So we're going to add the broth next. We're going to do this right here. We're going to add the broth to this now, which is actually 4 cups of chicken broth. Right here, we happen to have it right here already done. We're going to add that. This is going to make enough for 4 people, okay? So it's not going to be for a huge crowd. So the next thing after the broth, we add the tomatoes and salt. And I've already done the tomatoes here, and we're also going to use JD's tequila chili sauce and the tomatoes. Okay, and that's 1/4 of a cup. So we'll put that over here, and we'll mix that up, and then we're going to add the salt to it. All right. The salt is right here. Right here. And I'm going to use a little, because there's a lot of people that have a sodium problem, so I'm doing a pinch of salt. Okay? And then what we want to do is that we want to let that boil. Okay? And then what we want to do is let it simmer for a little while. And then we're going to add the shredded chicken to that after we get that done. So we'll be right back after these important messages on The Chef You and I. We're now back, and it's been 15 minutes that we've been simmering the soup. And now we're going to add our shredded chicken to the soup. And I use rotisserie chicken. I don't like it really shredded a lot. I like to see the nice chicken in it, right? So you can shred the chicken, or you can do it like I did. Now look at how beautiful that is. That's really pretty. We're going to let the chicken get hot. I'd say about 5 or 6 minutes, 7 minutes at the most. And then we can serve it, and we can show you what it looks like when we get done. So we're going to put, like, I'd say about, timer-wise, I'd say about maybe 6 minutes. Let's give it 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Okay, and we'll put the top back on. And the wonderful thing about these pans is that you can even do them in the oven. So I just need a glove, which I'll get right here, or a thing, because they're hot. So put that back on it. Let it go for another 6 to 7 minutes. And we'll check it in 6 or 7 minutes. In the meantime, what we're going to do is actually come back over to the piece right here at the countertop, right? We're going to slice our avocados and get everything ready to be able to show you what the soup looks like after 6 or 7 minutes. So we'll do this first. And I like to squeeze the lime on here so the avocado doesn't get brown. Good idea, huh? So we'll take that out, and we'll slice that into wedges or slices, right? And we're going to serve that along with our soup. That'll be on the side. So, and I mean, you don't have to have them in long strips. You can even cut them up like that, okay? And this one is tending to break, so we'll do that. And then we'll serve it with our soup, and along with our wonderful strips that we did, right? And pretty easy soup to make, wouldn't you say? And then we can use this for guacamole. That would be good. So we'll do that. You might want to get one that is not as, maybe as, what's the word? As soft as this one was. You never can tell, but you can tell when you first buy your avocado, right? Here we go. That looks pretty good. That looks really nice. So, there we go. And look at that. Perfect. And we'll use this one too. We're not going to waste anything. We're going to add garnishes to the soup, and that's the avocado strips, the cheese, the cilantro, and we're going to put the lime on the side. We'll just put a little lime on the top of it and serve it because I love lime. It's so good for you. So that's what we're going to do next. So we're waiting for the soup to finally heat up with the chicken, and then we'll serve it. We're back, and now the soup is done. We're actually putting in the condiments now, the avocado, right? And we're going to... Actually, hold on. I want to cut this a little bit and cut that. And then put 2 of those in there. And then we're going to add cheese. A little bit of cheese on it. And then actually, we're going to add a little bit of lime to it. And then put that there, right? And then we're going to put the strips on it. There's the strips that we did, right? Sweet. And then the cilantro. Now, I'm going to do the cilantro. Some people like cilantro and others don't like cilantro at all. Okay, so we're going to do this. And that is tortilla soup. And I'm not done with this next one, so we'll take a picture of that. Then we'll do the next one. This actually makes enough for 4, but guess what? There's only 2 of us that actually like tortilla soup. And we're adding the cheese, right? And the cilantro. And those. Right? Just for color. And we'll do that in a minute. All right. And then we want the strips. There's the strips. And if you want to put another avocado in there, you can. But you made those yourself. So simple. Easy does it. So you could put a little bit more cheese on it to make it even look better. See? Like that. So that's how simple it is. And put this on it. And you're done. And that's a perfect soup. It didn't take long. Simple ingredients. And I know you're going to love it. And your Valentine will too. We'll be back in just a moment to make our next dish, which is the hors d'oeuvres. And they're made with JD's chili. They're made with a cream of sauce. And they're also made with Fritos scoopers. We'll be right back. We're back on the Chef You and I, and we're making the JD's Frito Big Bites. And we've already, it's 1.5 pounds of ground beef, and I use the kind that doesn't have, that's 90% fat-free, so you don't have any fat in it, so you don't have to worry. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of onions, and I'm going to add JD's chili fixins, tequila lime, already done for you. That's the cool part. Then I'm going to add a little bit of water to this, right? And then I'm going to shake up the jar a little bit because you want to get all of the chili fixins. Actually, you want to get all that good stuff in there. Okay, so I'm adding that, right? And you can add more water to it. Now, a lot of people don't like jalapeno. See that jalapeno right there? It's really hot. Instead of putting 1/4 cup in it, I am only using a teaspoon because this can be very hot, and if you don't like hot, then actually you won't like it. So I'm using a teaspoon. I'm adding that to it. I'm stirring it up, right? We're going to put it on, actually on the stove, and it will only take about till it starts boiling. You can I'm not going to cook it all day, so that's what we're doing because this is going to be part of our hors d'oeuvres. Okay, so we're going to put this on the stove. And we're going to let that cook, okay, until it starts boiling. And then in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to make the crema, which actually goes down on a plate. So I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to get a plate and show you what we're doing, okay? We're back on the Chef You and I, and we're making JD's wonderful Frito Big Bites. Frito Big Bites. And you make your chili, your JD's chili, which we already have got on the stove, right? And now we're going to make the crema that's going to be on the base of the actual hors d'oeuvres that we're going to use. And so it helps the Fritos stick to the plate and they don't move around when you add the chili to each one of them, okay? So the first thing we're doing is we're taking 1 pint of yogurt. I've already put my pepper in here. And we're using a lime, 1 juice of 1 lime. That's that. So we've got the avocado, or not the avocado, but the yogurt. Okay. And that's about it. And then we're going to add the avocado next. So usually when you make an avocado, you go right through it, right? So that made it easy. And since we're not slicing it in slices or anything, we're going to just actually add the avocado to the blend here. And then we're going to blend it. I'm going to add that to it, right? And this is a big avocado, so it's going to be really nice to taste it. Right? So just take that off. There you go. And then do the same thing here. And actually, this is going to be delicious. I know it is. So I'll take that, put that in there, and hopefully I don't hear too much in there. I hope not. So here we go. All right. And we'll put that on top of it in just a second. And we'll blend it together. I'm going to take these off because I used them when I actually was topping up the jalapeno. So we'll put this on top of our wonderful Ninja thing. And we're making the crema now for... So we're going to do that right now. So we're going to... Okay, that should be enough. So we're going to take this off, or maybe we'll add a little bit, another 30 seconds, because it still needs some. Now I want you to see this. This is beautiful. You have to see how thick this is. And we're going to lay that down onto the dish, right? So you're going to spread it, right? So we'll do this. And you spread it on there like that. And then you're going to add your chips to it, right? Now this is for 4 people, so there would be 4 dishes, right? So this is going to hold, right, the actual Fritos so they don't go anywhere. This looks delicious. So I think your guest or whoever you're having for Valentine's Day, or just you and your husband, will really enjoy this. And this is what they do in Texas, so I can't wait. So we have enough to make another beautiful thing. We're going to wipe this off for a second, and then we're going to add our Fritos to it, right? And we'll be right back in just a second. All right, so what I did was I drained the chili, and I'm using like a wonderful teaspoon that is for iced tea. And I'm taking the chili and I'm putting it into the Frito. And my hands are totally clean, so you don't have to worry about that. And then you put these on top of the Fritos, right? And then we're going to add cheese to it, right, which will be really good. And these are our little appetizers. So, and that's the reason why we put the crema down, is because guess what? When you put the crema down, the chips don't move. And that's exactly what you want to work, is that. So there you go. There's one. And we're going to get the cheese, and we're going to put the cheese on top of it, right? And then you have an appetizer. So through the magic of television, one of my producers is handing me the cheese, right? And then you just take a little bit of cheese, right, and put it on top of each one of these chilies, right? Just a few, just a little, right? And I can add more sauce to the bottom so you don't see the cheese, but that's all right. Add a little bit more crema, because it's really good, by the way. There we go. So here you have actually our little bites. And I'm going to do this one for you as well. And so here's the hors d'oeuvres. And you know, you could put actually some chopped up black olives on this to make it even better, right? And so that's your little, that's your little hors d'oeuvre. And people will like this because it has a very unusual taste to it. And it's a lot of fun to make it. And I think that's what's cool about Valentine's Day. You want to make it very special, right? So I'm just going to finish this for you. And then you can have the chili another day. You can freeze it, right? So that's what we're doing. Okay, and then need a little over here, and we'll be done with that. So now add your cheese, just a little tiny piece of cheese on each one of them. Okay, and then when you pick them up, you'll get the crema too. That'll be cool. Okay, so that's the wonderful little hors d'oeuvre that you can serve for Valentine's Day. That's awesome. And you've got plenty of this crema to use for other things that you want to make. And you can make a lot of these. We'll be right back after this important message on The Chef You and I. We'll be doing the chicken enchiladas next. We're making JD's chicken enchiladas. And I'm using the wonderful Cornhusker duck fat cooking oil spray on the bottom to start in my 360 pan, my baking pan, which I love, and it cleans up wonderfully. Then I'm going to add some JD's sauce on the bottom of the pan, and I'm going to roll these enchiladas. I'm going to make 2 to 3 of each, okay? And then they're going to bake in the oven. So I'm going to add the sauce. And you don't have to use a lot of the sauce on the bottom of it, right? But let's see. Let's do this. And we're going to put that on the bottom of it. Right, like that. And you don't have to bake them for long because you're putting them in a 425-degree oven. The chicken's already cooked, okay? And actually, you're just going to heat the chicken up basically with the cheese and the sauce inside, right? So you're not soaking these in the sauce. And this is how Diana Anderson makes hers. So we're using her recipes, and we want to thank her so much for that. The first thing we're doing is putting our chicken into the enchilada, right? And you don't use a lot because you got to roll them. And this is plenty right here, okay? And then we're going to add a little bit of cheese. And this is Mexican cheese, right? Just a little bit of that. And then we're going to add a little bit of sauce, just a little bit of sauce in there, right? Maybe just a little bit more, okay? And then we're going to roll it. Roll it like that, and we want to put it seam down right there. And then we'll add a little bit of more of the enchilada sauce to it in a minute. And then I'm using flour tortillas. I personally like flour tortillas much better, but I know that Diana uses corn, and most people that are from Southwest use corn tortillas, but I prefer the flour ones. So let's use a little bit more cheese. Okay. And so I'm going to make about, I think 4 to 6 of these, right? Now I'm going to roll that again. And you put it seam down, so it goes right here, right? And I have a little bit of chicken there. We don't want to do that. So we want one more. We're going to make 4 altogether. But you can make as many as you want. You could fill that whole pan, which is great for your family or whatever, okay? So chicken again. And I did something different. I used a broiled chicken that you can get at the store. But you can make this with, you know, the chicken, the ground chicken that you get at the store. It turns out really good. And I love enchiladas. I don't know about you. I'm going to add a little bit of the sauce to it. All right. Then we put these in the oven for about 10 minutes. And guess what? Then you have wonderful enchiladas. And when we do that, right, we are also going to, we want to spray this a little. And add the chicken, like I said. So I think we're going to just do 4 because we got a lot to eat here. And I don't want everybody to not be able to have the wonderful Fame's chocolate that they were so sweet about giving us for Valentine's Day. Or you could make a Valentine's cake, or you could have cherry berries. But I'm telling you, when you taste Fame's chocolate, you won't want to have anything else. So we go like that, right? And now I'm going to put a little bit more of this onto the top of my enchiladas. You don't want it swimming in it. You just want it, and then you're going to add some cheese to the top of it. And then you'll serve some cilantro with it if you like cilantro. But there's some people in my family that don't like cilantro. What can I tell you? It's really good for you, but it's a preference of taste. So I'm going to add a little bit more cheese. So when this cheese melts, you know they're done. So just very simple. Your oven is preheated at 425 degrees. So guess what? These actually go really fast. So we'll take a short break and we'll be back, and we're going to show you how to make Chili Mary's wonderful new drink. We'll be right back. We're back on The Chef You and I, and we're making a drink to go with our wonderful Texas Valentine's Day, and it's called JD's Texas Red Shooters. You take your lime and you go over the top of the rim of your glass, right? And then you take it and you put it down on salt, and you actually do this so that you get salt on the outside of the rim of the glass, like that. So next you take, we're making 3, we're going to do all 3 of these. So you get that wet, right? And then you go like this. So you have, and sometimes people don't like the salt rim. Okay, and do this next one, right? And instead of Bloody Marys, it's called Chili Marys. And this one, actually, the name of it is Chili Mary's Sea Salt Lime. So we're doing this with lime, of course. So, and our timer just went off, so that means our enchiladas are done. So we'll just turn that timer off, and we'll check them to see, and they look good. So I think we're going to take those out real quick. So now what we're doing for making it for 3 different people, so we're adding 3 of these with your Chili Mary mix and 3 shots of tequila into this. It has ice in it. We're going to shake it up, and then we're going to pour it. And then we're going to add an olive to it. So 3 of these, and if you want to make a light one, you can. All right. 3 of these. So this is going to be very, very good. Different than Bloody Mary. It's Chili Mary's. So she has a whole line of wonderful products. So now what we're going to do is we're going to shake this up, and we're going to put this in. And then, just a second, we're going to add the Chili Mary's sauce, which is 3 of these. One. 2. And 3. And then we're going to put a lime with it. And you're going to love it. I know you are. This is their newest product. And let's make sure we get everything clean here. And we're going to put the top on here, and we're going to shake it. And then we're going to put it into our margarita glasses. Okay. So let me shake this. And then we'll pour it into these glasses, and we'll put a lime. And of course, we're going to put an olive in the end in it. So here you go. 2. And 3. Right. So, and then you will add an olive. Right? Whoops. You didn't want to stay there. All right. There we go. And then put a nice lime in it, and you've got a wonderful drink. Right there. And that's Chili Mary's wonderful Texas Red Shooter. We're back on the Chef You and I want to thank all the people that contributed to our show today, and for the recipes and the sauce and the chili fixins and the enchilada sauce from JD's Chili Parlor, and also her wonderful new product, which is Chili Mary, and we use sea salt lime. So, and also the wonderful duck fat cooking oil spray by Cornhusker. And we use that on everything. And our lovely Fame's chocolates. What could be better for dessert than Fame's chocolate? Famous chocolates from Brooklyn, New York, with love. And don't forget to look for all of our recipes on thechefyouandI.com. And you can also see us on everything from Spectrum to Hulu to Roku to Simul TV worldwide. We'll see you next time on The Chef You and I. Bon appetit!
Thanks for joining us on the Chef You and I show today. We'll be back next week with another great and healthy recipe. Don't forget to visit our website, thechefyouandI.com, for all of our featured recipes, cooking tips, and clips of the show.